Hello everyone, it's GTO MMA, and today I'm gonna share my thoughts on the UFC Vegas 115. To be honest, I didn't make a prediction video about this because I don't think anyone's gonna watch this fight, no, this card. I mean, because a lot of people saying it's mid. I also think it's mid. At first sight, it's kind of mid. If you watch anime, this is like a filler episode for the UFC. But I when I actually watched the card, it's pretty decent in my opinion. It's okay. It still fights, it's still two people trying to take each other's down. So anyways, for the first fight, uh Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. All right. Chris Duncan. Let's first talk about Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan is a brawler. All right, he's a brawler. Uh he doesn't have He doesn't really have defense, it's pretty much non-existent. So, for a brawler like him, it is expected that he should have a kind of decent chin, maybe, of course. But the thing is, he doesn't have any. You know, with his previous fight against Tyrese McKinney, he won that fight, but he got sat down pretty early. He got sat down pretty early, got rocked, and I almost thought he's gonna give out, but but he turned the fight around. But my point is, he doesn't have any chin, and that doesn't work if you're a brawler. It's either that you have a good chin or you have good defense. And he has neither of those. So I expected a knockout in this fight, to be honest. Uh, so just Moicano knocking his ass out, taking him down, and then submitting him. That's basically what happened here. Moicano really used his veteran experience here. The first round, he just used his jab to gauge the distance, to not really play into Chris Duncan's game, which is of course to brawl. And then at the second round, he found an opportunity and just sat him down and then patiently worked his way into a submission. So I don't know, bro. This fight is exciting. Nevertheless, but it's kind of mid, to be honest. Both of these fighters are mid fighters. Yeah. Okay, now Verna Janshirova versus Tabata Ricci. Both of these women are competent grapplers, especially Verna Janshirova. So I expected this fight to be a close grappling match, but it's anything but close, to be honest with you. So Verna Janshirova just took down Tabata Ricci multiple times, and Tabata Ricci didn't do anything, to be honest. Her takedown defense is almost non-existent. All right, I I expected more from her, to be honest. More challenge for more chal. She could have challenged those takedowns more. And once they're standing up, top of the ring, she got some good shots in, but it's not enough to really win the fight. Uh, Now for Verna Janjarova, I think she deserves a rematch against Mackenzie Dern now. I don't think she's gonna win. I just think that this performance, you know, makes her deserving for a rematch. That's it. Now for Abdul Rahman Yayev versus uh, Branson Ribeiro. So Abdul Rahman Yayev just walks forward to Branson Ribeiro, no defense at all. His hands not even that high. He takes a fucking couple of good shots from Branson Ribeiro. To be honest, if Branson Ribeiro had more power, you know, Abdul Rahman Yayev would be flat on the ground right now, but that's not the case. So Abdul Rahman Yayev, what the fucking name? Abdul Rahman Yayev just moves forwards, You know, closes the distance, gets a takedown, and then submits the Brazilian. I don't know how that works. The Turkish guy or the Russian guy just submits the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. So that's pretty much what happened. So for now, for Ethan Ewing versus Rafael Estevam. So of course, Ethan Ewing, famous for his win against Malcolm Wellmaker. Malcolm Wellmaker had a decent hype around him, and then Ethan Ewing just completely crushed that hype in 48 hours notice. That win, put him on the map. But this win really proved that he's one of the best prospects in the UFC. In this fight, the UFC tried to test his grappling. Match him against a grappler, who is also a which is also a decent striker, to be honest. And then Rafael Rafael Estevam shot a couple of takedowns, but it got completely stuffed by Ethan Ewing, so he probably just gave up on it. Didn't shot anymore. And then when they're striking, Ethan Ewing's just completely defensively sound, bro. He blocks, he slips all Estevan's punches, so pretty much a domination again by Ethan Ewing. And I'm excited to see Ethan Ewing in the rankings now. We could fight any ranked opponent now, to be honest. Okay, next fight, Tommy McMillan versus Manolo Cecchini. All right. First, let's talk about Tommy McMillan. Okay, Tommy McMillan. Uh, I don't know what to say about this guy because he fights like he doesn't know how to punch. He fights like a street fighter, but it works. Somehow it works. And then Zacchini is not better either. To be honest, this fight looks like an amateur fight. I mean, it's not a bad fight per se. It's still entertaining, but the skill level in this fight is so low that it looks like a amateur match. So if the UFC is building Tommy McMillan to be another superstar like, you know, Sean O'Malley, he even got Sean O'Malley in his corner. If the UFC is building him like that, Tommy McMillan better improve his striking defense. That striking defense won't work in the high levels of the UFC, bro. Now for Jose Delano versus Robert Ruchala. Bro, who's this guy, Jose Delano, bro? He's so slick. He's in the first round, he's slipping, he's ducking every punch. Looks like he's from the Matrix. I just love that style, bro. I just love that slick, sweet science style. And to be honest, I'd love to see more of him. And for Richala, he's also a warrior, bro. Fought to the bitter end. He didn't give up. So props to the both of these fighters. Love that fight. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video, you know, and then see you soon. Thank you.